tutu, tutu wo, tutu ma, tutu, arikuwa bawa. Moyuba lofi, olodumare. Moyuba obo egun, toka la ba, lerita kun. Timbele se olodumare, ogundafumbo tata gaitán. Periquito Pérez, Iretum Terdí, Bernardo Roja, Beo Morales, Oche Paure, Bernardito Roja. Obedí acá, obedí lele Cundo Sevilla, Oturaira, Agapito Piloto, Oturazar Pidio Cárdenas, Ocanazá Marino Peña, Ocanahuete Marquetti, Beto Osacana, Babá y Orbe, Raudiana Sacó, Nelson Monteagudo, o Juana Laquentuche Che, Alejandro Carvajal, o Gundaleni Delfín Gómez, Odisó Ángel Gómez, Carlito Begüeñe, Iguori Boché, Rigoberto, Kibae, Ibayento, nunca Imbelece, Los Dumares, Ofuleni, Cheito, Oyecumpa Quioché, Armando el Monón, Kibae, Ibayento, Nudo Ditauro, Santiaguito Nani, Kibae, Añabí, Fermín Basilde, Pablo Roche, Obailú Jesús Pérez, Andrés Sublime, Kibae, Baento Nun Totico, Patato, Obatile Mi Puntilla, Olomide, Regino Jiménez, Gustavo Oni Changó, Andrés Chacón, Kibae, Bayento Nun, Timbelece Los Dumares, Pepe Calabaza, Kibae, Fran Yeyito, Kibae, Bayento Nun, Ochun Yemí, Meseíta Valdés, Amelia Pedroso, Onille Mayá, Rolando El Gordo, Felipito Afonso Equiletí, Ogun Nique, Lázaro Ross, de la Rosa, Kibae y Bayento Nun, Obardi Melli, Octavio Samá, Kibae, Obatolá, Nicolás Valentín Angarica, Ogun Nique, Lamberto Samá, Ochun Nique, Felipe Lucha, Kibae y Bayento Nun Changó Bi, Maximiliano Da, Kibae y Bayento Nun, Timbelece, Olor Dumare, Polito, Nené Pupi, Obardele, Polo Chagüeye, Camona, Latuán, Echudina, Abde Solá, Venerando Afonso, Juan Jimagua, Afonso Eleguá, Ochardinú Caridad, Ochungüeo Oreste Blanco, Ochun Larí, Fey La Serra, Kibae, Ibayento Nun Pototo, Oni Changó, Los Jimaguas del Palenque, Liberato Abde, Guillermo Diago, Kibae, Bayento Nun, Jorge Ramos, Los Batalá, Ewin Yemí, Kibae, Bayento Nun, Timbelece, Olor Dumares, Susana Cantero, Feminita Gómez, Nélida Ogotolo, Hecho Ayer, Chunguere, Manuela, Carecaballo, Bidonjilla, Omiati que Mindalia Magro, Elequemí, Luz Díaz, Changola Rimita, Olo Fundé, Nilla Calleja, Olo Midé, Loyabel, Estera Tie, Babaletí, Kibae y Bayento Nun, Timbelece, Los Dumares, Bobuego, Toco la Ba, Lerito Kun, Olochun. Barasuayo, Omonia la Guana, Mama, que ya irá boete, O Barasuayo, que hecho dará. Omonia la Guana, Mama, que ya irá boete, Barasuayo, Omonia la Guana, Mama, que ya irá boete, O Barasuayo, que hecho dará. Omonia la Guana, Mama, que ya irá boete, Ibarago moyuba, Ibarago ago moyubara, Omode conitos Ibarago ago moyubara, elengua chulona, Ibarago moyuba, Ibarago ago moyubara, Omode conitos Ibarago agomo yubara elegwa etulona. Ichoncho ngabe odara koronile yo baba seme. Ichoncho ngabe odara koronile yo. Ichoncho ngabe odara koronile yo baba seme. Ichoncho ngabe. Abukenke alabukenke wabale gode masankio. Abukenke alabukenke wabale gwala topa ulowo. Abukenke alabukenke awanile o ogun mariwo. Awanile o ogun mariwo ogun afomode oile ambere mariwo ogun de baba. Awanile o ogun mariwo. Awanile o ogun mariwo ogun afomode oile ambere mariwo ogun de baba. Ocho si ọmọ ayé ló dá alamalade. Ocho si ayé ló dá alamalade. Baba ocho si ọmọ ayé ló dá alamalade. Ocho si ayé ló dá alamalade. Sire, jode masa, ore. Sire, jode masa, ore. Chambele que iworo, o de masa golona. Chambele que iworo, o de masa golona. Bioko, hayalabo. Bioko, hayalabo. Mayele kun fele ifa. Eriki, mayele kun fele ifa. Eriki, maele kun fele awo. Eriki, maele kun fele ifa. Eriki, era de osun ochamila pa mi wo. Era de osun ochamila pa mi wo. Era de osun alauma chauro. Era de osun dale koyu yemi. Ofenikia, yeyeo. La de osun ochamila pa mi vo. La de osun lare. Eco lare. Eco lare. Eco lare. Eko oma oke yeye moro oma oke yeye moro oma oke hache alaya oile queremos de Oile queremos de, ayaba coco malode, ayaba coco malode, ayaba coco. Oro anitu ye, eure, oro anitu ye, amala. Oro anitu omode. Oro wambi o ya iroko wamba. Oro wambi o ya iroko ya. Oro wambi o ya iroko ya. Oro wambi o ya iroko ya. Ya kole vallejo. Ochun kole wawanse. Kole vallejo. Ochun kole wawanse. Kole vallejo, ochun kole wawanse. Kole vallejo, ochun kole wawanse. Kole vallejo, aye, ayambe kumbamba. Ochun aye, ayambe kumbamba. Ya lode, aye, ayambe kumbamba. Ibuyumu, aye, Hayambe kumbamba lolo di aye aye. Hayambe kumbamba aye 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 aye. Hayambe kumbamba aye aye aye. OCHAREO, Ada Che, Chenife Chokun, Chenife Maru, Chenife La Ocha. Hi everyone, good afternoon. Thank you all of you that connect today with us to exchange knowledge about our beautiful religion. Today we're going to talk about the Odun. You know already Oche, tonti, Oche. One of the Odun in our religion that have different paths, different patakines. This one is one of the greatest Odun that we have. Even though is one of the youngest, or the youngest one, is so important for all of us to know about this Odun. Thank you, Vito, Mezquia, people from Alamar, Martica, and everyone that connect with us. If you, for example, want to write any comment, please try to do that in YouTube, because I cannot see some comments that you do in Facebook. So everyone that is in our group that now is watching this live stream, thank you. All of you too. And you know that something that is important to us is to exchange our knowledge, and your question always will be received in the best way that we can. Try to make question about the topic that we going to talk today, because it's something that is great for everyone. Something about this Odun, that even though it's the youngest one, Oche is important because in this Odun talk Ochun. Ochun is the main Orisha that speak here, and plus that Orumila, Asonjano, Oba, Obatala, and other Orisha talk here. And like the Orishas of the moon, you know, the core of Ochun, like Aye, Aye Chalunga, Orisaaye, and others. This Odun is one of the Odun that we have that talk about the divination. The divination is so important in this Odun, and it's something that we need to know. If you have this Odun, today we go to try to cover as much as we can. That's why your question is important to us, because sometimes, you know, the Odun, they have a lot of patakines. So if you have a question about something that is important to you, because you have this Odun in yours, Ita, please ask us. Even though it's important to respect the advices that you have in your Ita. Why? Because Ita is magical. So Ita is something that most of the high priests in this religion could be in Ifada is Ochemei or in Ocha. Sometimes something come out in Ita that you read different book and you look for the information and you don't see this information there. However, it's true that the divine is talking with you, because when we are doing an Ita, a lot of spirits comes and support us in the Ita. So, and also the spirit of the house and the person in particular. So it's important that you respect always the Ita that you have. In this Odun that talk about the blood and the family, one of the proverbs of this Odun is that the blood that ran through the veins, because our veins is thank you Oni that is connected in the group of Facebook. Thank you Oni to be here and all the OCHAREO family. So something that we need to know, we need to investigate is the line of our family members about disease and illness. Why? Because when we know about that, we prevent any illness that go through the blood. So if when we go to the doctor, for example, and the doctor asks us, your mother that she had diabetes or your father had problem with the heart, they want to know about our family history and health. So this is something that we need to be aware of that. Most of the time we talk with our grandparents and parents and we don't ask. No, it's important that you know why, because in this way you want to prevent any disease. You know that in your family line, for example, they have problem with the high blood pressure that is talked also in this autumn, or the low one, you prevent that. You know that you need to eat with low of salt. You need to avoid different things with the blood that could be bad for you. When we, for example, go to the doctor, we need to be careful too when the blood, in case that you need a blood, you need to be careful because you can get an infection. This is something that Oche, tonti Oche talk about it. It's important for us to take care of that. The generation, sometimes, even though you see, oh, my father or my mother, they don't have any problem with the blood, they don't have high blood pressure, they don't have diabetes or anything like that, could be your grandparents. And remember that most of the time, something that your parents don't something that don't affect your parents could be affect you because it's in your bloodline. So here the generation need to know about your family members. Something else that Oche tonti Oche has is the when we, for example, talk with any one of our family members, we need to know about what is the food that our family use regularly. Our ancestors, for example, because when we're going to put any offering for Egon, we can include that. If they, our great grandparents, they like, for example, the whiskey or the rum or the cigar, when we serve Egon, we add that to Egon in order to call and pay homage to our ancestors. In our religion, something that we have, but sometimes we don't know or we don't have conscience of that, is that the Odun gives us the information to prevent problems in our life. So if we have Oche tonti Oche, most of the time that this Odun appear in the divination is telling us be careful with your health. So that's why we prevent problem. Don't wait. Please don't wait that you get sick to say, oh, now I knew I have that in Ita because my grandparent or my mother, she had the problem and I didn't pay attention. No. Try to be in front of the problem. Try to avoid the problem. That's why we have Ita. Ita is not to that is write down in our notebook and we forget about it. No, it's something that often we need to review our Ita. We need to get as much information that we can about the Odun that we have. Even though we don't go to talk with anyone about that, but you keep that in mind. So if someone is talking about this odun in any ceremony that you go or live stream, uh, doesn't matter from where you get this information, you keep it. And it goes to help you to avoid problems that you have in this odun. Something that we need to know about Oche, tonti Oche, is the spirituality that this odun has. This odun is so spiritual, and have the Indian Commission, the Jesuits, also the Masons, and more. So for you, the masses is something that you need to do periodically. Sit down in your bóveda, try to pray, to connect with your spirits through dreams. Maybe someone that talk to you, because sometimes our spirit talk through someone else that they trust. We have different masses, the investigation masses before we get crowned or we do at home. Often our spirit don't show up because they don't trust in the people that I don't know, in the people that they are in the mass, because some people today they are our friend and tomorrow they are our enemies. So that's why they try to hide from them. So try yourself to improve your knowledge about the spirits that work with you. If you take during a week maybe 15 minutes or 20 minutes to sit down in the word and do your prayer, you will see how your spirit start to show up in your dreams, and they go to talk to you. The Indian, for example, the person that had Oche, tonti Oche, is the person that most of them had the gift to cure people. Why? Because the Indians, they cure themselves with different herbs, with the cigar. They have this gift from God. So if you have this odun, don't be afraid that to take some herbs that you know about them is something that you need to study and to do an ebo or clean someone. It's something that you have in your spirit, your spiritual core. The India, they are fishermen. The other that they are the king of the tribe. They are other than few people. So try to know which one works with you. And the only way that you can do that is, like I told you before, try to do your prayer, try to connect with them, and you will see that little by little you want to know about it. In the other side, one of the main spirit that is odun has to is the Jesuits, that they work with the cards, with the crystal ball, candles, and all of that. Some people, they don't know how to read the cards. That is something that is true. However, they have them in the bóveda, or even they prepare a GC doll, and they put the card with her, and they light a candle, and they pray to them. Not everyone have the gift to read the cards. That is something that we know. However, when you have this odun, I don't know how they do, but all the Jesus connect with you and let you know about the person that you are reading. So don't be afraid when you talk with someone and you say something and the person said yes. thank you, life for your spirit. No, because you have that kind of gift in your spiritual core. Some people, for example, they learn about the Spanish cars and they work with the car. But I was talking with so many of them that I know doing my research about this Odun. And they said, no, I just use the cars and I put the cars, they open the cars in the on the table. However, they are not reading them. They said, my spirit connect with me and let me know the problem that this person has. It's true. Why? Because this something that the Oche, tonti Oche have. The spiritual core is the spiritual core of diviners. Here they talk about the Masons too. Some people that have this odum, they work in the hospital. They are nurses, doctors. That I know them. They don't work in the religion like others. However, they work to help the community with the health. Because not everyone, something that is important that our community understand that. Not everyone were born to work in the OCHA room. Not everyone were born to be a mechanic or to be a doctor. Everyone have different gifts that Olofi provide us with that when we were born. So if you have the gift to work like a diviner with the card, use that because it not only help you, also help the community. When you lack your spirit, because I know people that they don't want to work like a spiritual in the spiritual path. They say no, it is not my thing. Even though I saw this with this person and I talk with this person, I don't want to do that. What happened that your spirits they compress, and when your spirit compress, you will to feel depressed sometimes. You need to allow that this spirituality, this energy that Olofi provide you flow. So the best thing that you can do is often sit down and even you can read the cards for yourself. You don't have to read the cards for the community or try to sometimes work with them and it goes to help you in so many different ways because the most important thing that we have is our spirits. Our spirits guide us through our life. And when we do something like that, it's something I know. For example, let me share something with you that I have the experience about that. I know the woman that she threw the car for her family and she played with the car. She's a professional. A professional. I think that she's a writer, something like that. But she have in her house the space for the Jesus and the Indian. She had different Indians and she attend them and she worked with them and she said that sometimes there are a lot of ideas, beautiful ideas that come to her mind that she doesn't know from where it coming from. It's from her spirits. Why? Because she attend them, she works with them. She doesn't want to open a place to read card or anything like that because she's so busy in the job that she does. But she doesn't forget about her spirituality and she works with them because she have this odum. She cannot work with the Orisha. She has crown or batala, but and her mother is Ochun, but she interact with the card and the divination. That is something that we go to see through this light stream that there are so many patakines that talk about the divination in this this order. Even when you see the men, for example, that crown the Ocha, they have Oche tonti Oche in different orichas, automatically the priest said, okay, you pass here is to go to Ifa if you want to. Because the Ocha is telling you that you do everything that you are supposed to do with the oricha, but now you are supposed to go to Ifa, even if they have in the Awofaka of Orumila. So the divination is something that comes with this Odun and is the gift that you have. So try to improve your knowledge, not only about the spirit, try to also learn about the herbs that you can use for different situations that you have. Here we talk about the blood, the family. Said the thread that follow the nails. So this odun is the odun that when we count our OCHA, it's important to do the best yaboraje that we can do. Some people that have this odun, they say, it doesn't matter, to to do this. I can this in the way that I want to, and this is the mistake. Why is the mistake? Because most of the time that the person have this odun is the first person in the family than crown Ocha. I saw in my career like Oriate so many people that they have Oche tonti Oche in Ita, is the guardian angel. And when you ask them, they say, no, in my family, we don't have any person that practice this religion. I am the first. So what happened with that? That the others around you, they are watching you to know how you do, because some people, they don't know our religion. And also, we need to know that there are others that they talk about bad about our religion because they don't have the knowledge. So everyone say it's the voodoo, this is bad, they do this, they do that is not correct, the animal, all of that all of us know. So when you are doing Yauraje, you are like the example for your family members, your kids. Even this Odun, when we see this Odun in Ita, recommend you that try to incorporate, and there's something that you have to do with your family member. For example, your kids, that they are supposed to receive something in the religion. Could be the worries, could be the elects, for example, but they need something. Even though you have Oche with another Odun, Oche with a Yeunde, Oche Eila, Oche whatever, they recommend you to guide your kids, because you are the person that go to guide the rest of your family members. And after a while, you see how your aunt, your cousin, some other of your family ask you about the religion, and they start to learn about, they want to participate in your Ocha birthday. Some of them, they want to go with you, and little by little you see that you can start to pull it, all of them, to the religion. So if you have this Odun, try to do the Yaboraje in the best way that you can. And something else that we need to know in this Odun, that when we do the Yaboraje, remember that we are trying to purify our spirituality. Oche tonti Oche talk about the inner that we talked before. So if you are doing the Yaboraje to purify yourself, to live in the back of the problem that you had before, try to do it as best as you can. Try to educate your family member. Most of the time that we are in this religion, we don't want to share knowledge. People, they are so selfish. Just me. The ego is so big. So they don't want to share knowledge. No, we need to share the knowledge with the community, person, people that you have next to you, family members that they have any interest. Why? Because you are the guy, you are the needle. You go in front. That is the Oche tonti. Oche said. You have people behind you that they want to learn from you. So it's important that you always improve your knowledge. In this Odun, it's one of the Odun that the first time the shell was through in the map. The first time that they did elimination with the shells. Ochun, she was so sick. She was so sick because she was walking around different towns as she went to the lake, and she asked the people around, said, this lake is good, the water, and they said, yeah, yeah. They knew that the water was infected, but they don't want to let her know. So Ochun drink this water, and she got so sick. She had pimples and all of that. Oya, her sister, tried to cure her. Oya did the best that she could do to help Ochun. However, she didn't have any good results. So she called Chango, and she told Chango, we need to save Ochun, we need to help Ochun. And Chango, he comes with his shells, and he read Ochun, and he saw this Odun, and he did a great above for her, and Ochun pure. So what this Odun is telling us, and also let us know that Oya and Ochun, they are Okanani. They save each other. That's why it's important that the person that have, for example, Crown Ochun attend Oya, and vice versa, because they work together. Something else that this Odun and this Patakin is telling us is that when you go to any place and the people tell you, oh, this water is good, be careful, or this drink is good, be careful, because you could get so sick. The person that had Oche tonti Oche is not supposed to drink something that you don't know what it had. Like, for example, Mama Juana, Chamba, Garapiña, all of that is fermented, that you cannot see what is really inside. Be careful with that. Be careful. Yes, it is. Nereida. Yes, it is, Nereida. Yes, it is. The other one was in Spanish. This is in English from the other kid that they speak English. So it's important that we be careful with that. Even when we are in the party, for example, you have your drink, and you are dancing, and you go to the bathroom or something, and you left your glass over there. When you come back, don't take this glass again. Order a new drink, or take it with you to the restroom, because someone could put something inside your drink and you could get sick. This is something that we need to know in the Odun Oche. Be careful about what you are drinking and where, and from the hands that you drink. This is something that is important, because Ochun, she got sick here. because people don't get her the good advice. Now we talk here about the Oche tonti Oche, that he was so humble. In this Odun Olofi, he was looking for someone that could replace him because he felt so old, tired, and sick also. So he called all the Orishas and different Odun and said, go travel around the world, and when you bring me the thing that I needed and your experience, I want to choose someone that could help me and later replace me. So all the Richards, they dressed with the best uh, clothes that they had and jewelry and all of that. Oche tonti, he just dressed with regular clothes, but he bring with him his holongo, the bag, and he went with his bag. All of them start to go and travel around the world. So in different village, they saw all of them, so they knew that they come from the Olofi Palace. So they offered them the best food that they have, um, animals, everything, and everyone ate chicken, everything. Okay, Nereida, thank you to be with you. Thank you, Nereida. But the next time, sorry, we have this in Spanish also in our channel. We do, nosotros hacemos uno en español y después lo hacemos en inglés. Puedes ver de español que ya está grabado en el canal. Ok, gracias Nereida por conectarte con nosotros. So they start to eat everything that they offer, that the people in the village offer to them, but they, after that, they left the wing, they left the head and everything. And Oche tonti, he took the wing, he took the head, and he ate wherever he can because they all of them tried to humiliate him. Because say, look how he's dressing, always he is with this bag with him. So it's like sometimes we are in places that the people they're so well and they try to humiliate us. They went to the village of the fishermen, and the fisherman offered them two different fish, all of that they have, and all of them ate, but they dismissed the head, they dismissed the tail, and everything. And Oche, he picked up everything, he put it in his bag, and he continued his journey. When all of them went back to Olofi Palace, Olofi asked them, okay, you are telling me that you were in this village, in this country, and around the world, and your histories are so great, but how you can prove me that you have been in that places? No one could prove anything because they ate everything and they don't take nothing. But Oche, he took his bag and he put his bag, he opened his bag in front of Olofi, and Olofi saw all the head, the wings, the head of the features. And he said, you are the person that I need in Paris because not only you are so humble, it's not you bring everything to show me in the places that you have been. What happened with this? This Odun is telling us that when we do a ceremony, most of the time, We put everything in the garbage. We dismiss everything. Yes, we know, and you know that our religion is a religion that we have to work. There are a lot of work when we do a ceremony. That is something that is true. But that's why we are there. So we are supposed to cook and put the accesses to our orichas, because that is the witness that our oricha ate the chicken or ate the hens, the guinea hens. We need to put the accesses to our oricha. This is something that is important. Often we feed a legua, for example, with a chicken. Suppose that you don't have crown ocha. You don't have crown ocha, but you feed a legua with the chicken or something like that. People say, no, this meat and a bowl. No. Take that chicken, plug it correctly, put it in the oven with palm oil, for example, and after that, offer that to a legua. You ate your chicken, and here you have. I cook for you. You can add, for example, some rum to a legua, put a glass of water, a jícara, sorry, with water in front of the legua. You are doing a sacrifice at the moment that you offer a legua, the chicken. So try to cook that with the accessory and offer to a legua. It's important sometimes to share. You can cook the chicken in so many different ways, and when you offer, you also prove a little piece. This is the tradition that sometimes we don't know. We don't do it. Sorry, we don't do it. We put something to the orichas and we don't taste it. We are supposed, when we put an adimu to any oricha, to prove a piece of that. That shows the oricha that we share with him the food. So try to do that. Is something that in this order, just so the patakin, that is important to put the accesses for them, to put the accesses for them in the best way that we can. If you don't know, try to talk with someone that you know and do it. Because in the boat of the timon, sometimes I talk with the community and say, even try to put the accesses for the guardian angel on the fire or mother in Ocha and Elegua. Because it's the bometa, clean with all the animal, the person, and dismisses. And it's not like that. Even though it's the bometa, we are supposed to put the accesses to our orishas. Now we talk about Orumila. Orumila that is called, and on 2 and 4 will be the day of Orumila. We have here the patakin with about the slave and his owner. That he saw him sowing the eleke in the farm, and he told him, this is the way that you work. And he offended him and told him that he doesn't want to work and want to punish him. But he asked, why are you doing that? He said, through this reading, I saw that the 3 women of the king, they are pregnant. But if they don't do an abort, they go to pass away because they are also sick. The owner, he doubted about it, so he went to palace and he talked with the king, and he told him, I have this lady and he told me that, and the king said, yes, that is true. My 3 wives, they are pregnant and they are sick. So they call the slave, and he did a divination for them and the book, and he cured the 3 wives of the king, and they had the possibility to have their kids without any problem. That's why in this order said that sometimes when we lose, we win. So people that they try to offend you that you have this odum, Oche tonti Oche, and they try to humiliate you in different way. Don't pay attention to that. The best thing that you can do to prove that you have knowledge is to study and prepare yourself. Because when you lose, you win. Oche tonti Oche is the odum that if you have this odum in Ocha, you are supposed to receive you awofaka or ikofa of Orumila. It's important that you receive it and you attend also Orumila. Why? Because people receive the different deities in this religion. Yes, I want to receive this, I want to receive that, but most importantly is to attend them, to work with them. Learn about the Aradimuses and Aladimuses that you can offer to Orumila. Orumila is one of the orishas that we can even put until 16 different Adimuses around him. So if you have your Wofaka Orumila, try to learn the different Adimuses. Even the Ochinchin with shrimp and honey, that is the most popular one that also we offer it to Ochun. You can learn about other Adimuses and Aradimuses that you can offer Orumila. Orumila is the king of the divination. Orumila is so spiritual too. So in this Odun Oche tonti Oche, the person that has this Odun, it's important to attend Orumila and also use the Ide and the Leke of Orumila, because these Orisha in particular, they save us from illness, from Iku, and different araye and problems that we could have. If you have this Odun, try to receive it, try to attend Orumila, that it go to be so great for you and you don't go to regret that in your life. Now, about the justice. If you have this Odun, you need to be careful with the justice, because here talk about the handcuff. The handcuffs were born in this Odun Oche tonti Oche. And when you have this Odun in divination, for example, you receive your awofaka of Orumila, they recommend you that you are have to commit with the orishas. You have to attend the orishas. You have Oche tonti Oche said, you want to be prospered in your life, try to crown Ocha. Try to attend you Ocha. As soon you see Oche tonti Oche said, hey, you are committed with the Orisha, try to don't do anything illegal in your life. Try to respect the rules and regulations in any place that you are, and you could see how your life flourish. What happened that this Odun that talk about the justice and all of that, Oche is the Odun that is telling us that don't worry about money. Most of the people that I know that they have this Odun, they are so prosperous in life. In this Odun, Ochun was rich, but she wasn't greedy. When they had the start the money and everything, it was the mountain of money. And everyone tried to take the money from the bottom, and the other money come on top of them, and they pass away at the moment. Ochunda, she is so smart, she took the ladder and she started to take the money from the top, little by little, and she become rich. So this all don't advise us that don't be greedy in life, because you could finish your life in jail. So you can have problem with the justice. Try to improve your life little by little. That if you have this Odun, always you will be prosperous in life. Of course, you need to work for. But Oche tonti Oche is the odun of prosperity. It's the odun that the person make money. It's the odun that always, from one way or another, you find a solution to improve your economically life. So your economies will be good. So don't press so attention to that, and try to work more with the Orisha and talk to them. Different at the muscle or something that you offer to Ochun. I want to improve my life. If you have this odun, for example, in Obatala, you have crown Chango. Okay, Obatala is just for you. You cannot crown Obatala, but you can work with Obatala, because this odun specifically is telling you, Obatala is telling you that anything that you need about economy, talk to him. About health, try to lean in Obatala, and you could see how your life change and is prosper for you. This Odun talk also about the violin. The violin is something that we know that Ochun love. So when you have this Odun, and doesn't matter in the origin that you have. If you have in Ochun, all right, you have in Oba, for example. But if you have in another origin, try to talk with Ochun. But even you have this Odun in another, it's telling you my Ferefun Ochun. And then you can promise her a violin when you accomplish something. The music in Oche is important for you. So try to listen music to relax yourself, because this Odun, the person is so hyperactive sometimes. You have the person that don't stop, always moving around. So the violin calm down you. So try to talk with Ochun, and when you have any situation, offer a violin for her. If you have problem in your marriage, way that you fix everything. Why? Because this instrument in particular, when you play to her, it touches her feeling. So if you have any problem in your relationship, she goes to break that, because in Oche tonti Oche, Ochun doesn't like that his kids suffer. So if you have this situation, you need to be careful, and then you play, but try to be sure that you don't have any problem in the relationship, that your relationship is good, and try to work together. You and your wife or your husband, anyone that go to play the violin to Ochun, that she could see that you have a great relationship, that both are working to offer this music to her, and she goes to help both of you, even though the other person doesn't have clan Ocha, it doesn't matter. I know so many people that the husband don't have clan Ocha or vice versa, but they work together and they support, and at the end, it's good for both of them. Now, when we talk about the airways, some airways in this order, the first thing that we need to know is the needles and the tattoos. So this order talk about the sensibility that your skin has. People that have Oche, most of the time, they even the soap, they use some soap that the skin get irritated, and they get pimples and all of that. So be careful with the tattoos. The tattoo is something that you have this odor, is not good that you do it, because at the end you can get an infection, and later maybe you want to remove, and it will be a problem for your skin. Try to keep everything as clean as you can in your house. Okay, to don't get infected when you go to, for example, to wash the dishes and all of that. And as well, this autumn talk about the food, the junk food like the pizza and the hamburgers and all of that. Be careful, because remember that this autumn talk about the blood. So your cholesterol could be high, and your blood could you could have, for example, diabetes or something like that. Be careful with the junk food. I am not telling you that don't eat them, but you need to handle it. You need to be aware of that. So don't abuse of the junk food, and also the leftovers. So if you have something in the refrigerator that could get fermented, for example, like the beans, the soups, or something like that, you pay attention of that. The beers, the wines, all of that, when everything that is fermented, if you have this autumn, you need to pay attention. Why we don't here, for example, different countries, we don't say, okay, you cannot drink more beer, you cannot drink more wine, because there are so many different brands of them. But I recommend always the people in Ita said, if you, for example, drink this specific wine and you see that it's not good for you, don't eat it anymore. Be careful also with the seafood, with the lobsters, with the shrimp. You need to be careful. People, the red snapper, people sometimes they do it, and when they get sick, they don't eat anymore. So this is the signal that this oricha is telling you don't eat more shrimp or don't eat more lobster. But you know, we try to, it depends how the autumn comes, to say people, you know, this is in your hands. Try to avoid that, try to avoid the beer, but when you see that something is not good for you, you just don't eat it anymore. The prohibition of the chalice, the prohibition to crown people, the prohibition to eat the orishas. Like we were talking before, this Odun Oche tonti Oche is the one of the district Oduns. Because even though Ochun is the youngest Orisha, that this Odun belongs to her, she provides us with everything that we need in our life. She's the owner, Ochun is the owner of the Ache. It's one of the reasons that I love from the bottom of my heart. So some people that they have this Odun in different, which I say, no, it doesn't matter. We can do a ceremony and you can give this Orisha for someone. Be careful with that, because you can get sick, and even though they do different abortions, even though they try to you receive different Orishas, you go to pay for it, because when any Orisha in particular have this Odun or Cheton to Che, is telling you, I will be here for you. I'm going to support you. I'm going to provide you with the economies, everything that you need in life, but don't share me with anyone. Now we have the fashion that they said, I do this ceremony, and this ceremony is the ceremony, the only one that we can do this ceremony, that it depends, because we need to check out the notebook first. We need to check out the notebook first to know if the person have Oche in different Orisha or something like that, is Ochun, because she speak in this order. So the person, when the person have Oche Tontoche, I know and I participate and I did the ceremony for a person that have this Odun, but don't have Oche Tontoche in any other Orisha. And they, they crown a lot of people. Why? Because this is the Odun of Ochun. But this is the special ceremony just for the child, just for the child of Ochun, not for everyone. And I repeat myself because I don't want any confusion. We need to check out the notebook because if you have different Oche in another Orisha, we cannot do the ceremony. So just the Orisha is telling you, I am for you. You can Ocha because you need help. That's why we see that elders in our religion that have oche something. For example, the person has crown any ocha and have oche une, oche odi, or oche fum. They crown different oricha, however, they don't crown their own guardian angel because they say I have oche from my own hands in my guardian angel, so I don't crown my guardian angel for anyone because I could get sick. And in addition of that, if you have this odum, if the guardian angel, and someone is so sick, and they're going to crown an ocha with you, say no, give it to someone. We cannot do everything. My family in the religion, we cannot do everything. Even we are priests, even we have age in ocha, even you have all the knowledge. Sometimes we have to say no and pass this for someone else that could crown this origin without any problem. Most of the time that we have problem in our religion is because we want to do everything. We cannot do everything. Because when you do everything, you pass away. No. There are things that belongs to someone else. Something is person has to go to Ifa, some people have to go and do Imparo and vice versa. Sometimes you read people and you you say, no, you need to go to Orumila because you need to receive that from Orula. You need to reinforce your path. So don't get stubborn if you have this odum because the prohibition is the odum that you have if you guardian angel. Don't crown anyone because it will be a disaster for you. Maybe not today, tomorrow, but later you can see. And then this is the situation that later around when the person have problems, say, oh no, let me call any of that don't know me because I want to bring down my guardian angel because that talk to me. When the guardian angel speaks, said, I don't have anything to say because you didn't listen. You ita. I repeat myself, ita is so important for us. So the prohibition that we have, we need to follow up if we want to be successful in our social and religious life. Okay, thank you everyone. Thank you everyone to be here. If you have any question about this live stream about Oche, Tonti Oche, this is the time to ask. About anything that you want to know about this specific order. Sometimes later people ask me and we are in another live stream. So if you have something now, I don't see any question here. Thank you everyone, that connect to this live stream. Everyone that participate, I think that I cover a mass. I can, according to my knowledge. If you have any question today or tomorrow, you can leave in the comments. In the reply, I will answer you as fast as I can. But okay, no one have any question here, so that you have a nice Sunday and a nice week. Thank you, all of you. And ya tú sabes, health, faith, and prosperity. Oh, chareo.